Hey, goats, we're going to cover some of the biggest news coming out of the world of Proof Collective, Moonbirds, and oddities. We'll be answering whether it's time to go all in on Moonbirds and whether Kevin Rose's town hall announcement did enough to restore confidence in the Moonbirds world after the bit of the debacle from the CCO news. All this and more in today's show. We're also going to be giving up an update on the biggest giveaway yet in the Goat Bolt. So watch till the end so you can hear that announcement. Welcome to Goats in the Metaverse, Stanley. Big news out of the world of Moonbirds. You're wearing your Moonbirds hat. We're going to go deep into whether you're a believer and people should be buying and all of the alpha coming out of that community. There's a lot of excitement happening there. Tell us what people should know.
GM. And first of all, I'd like to say I'm not pumping my own bags. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. I'm not even sure. I'm not necessarily happy with Moonbirds. Spent 100 grand. I got a really nice hat out of it. Figured I'd wear it on the show today. Listen, worst comes to worst, we could have a meme about it, right? So Moonbirds had their town hall. Very exciting news for the Moonbird community. Takeaways. First, they went and talk about the CC0 announcement and what does that mean, and how do they see the community being valued, and what does the future hold? Probably the biggest thing to come out of it is Highrise. Highrise is going to be an all-in-one Web3 platform with info, resources, and likely a social component. The product can eventually be expanded into other Web3 communities, which is potentially game changing. We get to help test the product and use it as Moonbirds holders, and that's the big advantage. From what I've heard, that you know this might replace Discord, or at least that is the goal. And if that is going to be successful, we all know nobody's happy with Discord. So maybe this is what they need, right? And Kevin Rose is a Web2 guy, a technology guy. So if anybody knows how to build a technology and bring in the right teams to do so, maybe this is his way of making a big impact on the Web3 community and having the Moonbirds holders as the ones that are kind of leading the charge here. That was probably the most interesting things to come out of it. There's obviously a lot of conversation about nesting and why nesting is important, and a lot of hints to if you do nest, which is the staking mechanism, you might get a lot out of it. There was a conversation or hints on tokens. All of this is a lot of hints and conversations, right? There is no, this is what we're going to do. And if they are doing a token, obviously we understand from an SEC perspective, you can't really go out and say, hey, we're coming out with a token. You have to do it in a very legal and correct way. Those were my biggest takeaways. Once again, I'm the water is cold and I'm thinking, do I want to continue to stay in the water? That's kind of, that's kind of my take on it. But listen, it's a down market and everything is down right now. I put up a tweet, which I wish we had yesterday, comparing the daily floor prices 4 months ago to today, and it's painful to look at. It is, and talk about ETH was a lot higher 4 months ago too. It is BAYC was 124 Ethereum. Today I think it's at like below 80. So I think it's
Well, let's
tough
not.
all around.
It is tough all around. Let's not trigger our audience with old prices and bring them back to the good old days, because it can be quite painful to look back and say, "Wow, these things were at this price point." But let's look at where it is today. What does it mean for us today? Are you getting a discount? People were buying into Moonbirds at 30, 35 ETH when ETH was sitting at $3,000. Today, you can get into that community at 14 ETH. ETH is just under $2,000. You're getting a significant haircut, a significant discount on that. Back of the news from the town hall, Moonbirds is up 7.75% in the past 24 hours on floor prices. Everything else is down. We've got CryptoPunks down 2%, Mutant Ape down 6%, Other D down 10%. So definitely enthusiasm from the community, from the announcement, from the Kevin Rose team. There were some other things that they announced, which I think is pretty interesting, that they brought some more certainty towards. There is going to be, this is for Proof members, that they can now expect 10 events per year. Event not necessarily being a physical event. It means that there could be a Grail drop or some sort of other benefit that is happening every month or almost every month. Reminder of Grail. Grail's season 2 is coming up. Grails was their first drop of bringing together, I think it was about 10 or 15 different artists, where they did a auction mechanism. You pay 0.05 ETH. You didn't know which artist was behind the works that you were buying, and you managed to scoop up some Lava Labs original generative art and a whole bunch of real grails in that collection. Some of those selling for 40 to 70 to 80 ETH, and that really was what brought Proof on the map. So we're seeing Grails 2 coming out. Other announcements is that oddities, for the first time, oddities will become deflationary. And what does that mean? Well, there's going to be a way to potentially burn your oddity. Gremplin has given his stamp of approval, the artist behind the oddities, and by burning it, you will get something from the Proof ecosystem. We don't know what that is yet. It's a lot of speculation, and Kevin is a master at the speculative games, giving little breadcrumbs of what may come. And then using the strategy, I've heard it being called, surprising and delighting their audience. So that is coming within the Proof ecosystem and within the oddities ecosystem. And really what I think you got to take is a view here, a bet here on, is this the team that is going to be able to out-deliver? He is a technologist. He is going to use and leverage technology in ways that other communities don't necessarily have that necessary skill set. I look at Doodles as an example. They're very much on the high creativity, on this experience and world that you're going to build from there. Bored Ape Yacht Club, very much about the events, music, the Bored Ape Yacht Club Festival, and all of these cultural moments that they can bring to life. And here you have Kevin saying, well, we're going to build some wicked technology, we're going to bring some great artists, and we're going to build a community that is focused around utility. Is that a bet you're buying into? And if it is, today you're getting in at a third of the price from its peak. For me, that's a good buying signal.
I like to hear that, Yasi. Yasi is saying it's a buy. Hashtag do your own research. Let's hear from you. Leave us a comment. Are you believing in Moonbirds? Is that something that you would buy into at this price point? And do you believe it? And one thing, hearing you speak about this, which I think is interesting, we're so stuck in like floor price world of like, is this price up? Is this price down? Is this PFP project going to be the next Bored Ape? Right. But you kind of broke it down in a way which I think is very interesting, right? If Moonbirds becomes a technology company, or Proof becomes a technology company, and Moonbirds go along for the ride, and somehow, some way they do build this kick-ass technology that's going to overtake the world and become the next Web3 social media platform, and as a Moonbirds holder, you get a benefit of it. Now that does make them stand out from the competition. It makes them completely different, and that is probably their biggest edge. And then if you look at kind of the real builders in the space, you look at, like you said, Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? You look at Doodles, you look at what Moonbirds are doing, you look at what Gary Vee is doing. They're all doing pretty different approaches, right? And I think they're going to go even more unique, right? Because they're going to really go down the path that's going to make them successful and, you know, do what they're really great at. And then if you look at it from a different perspective, now the real world looks at it and says, wait a minute. So NFTs are no longer about some profile picture, right? They could be associated with this huge festival that gets thrown together, right? Or they could be associated with this technology that was launched out of it. Or they could be associated with these creative worlds that are being built by Doodles. And now it makes things a little bit different, right? You know, the big kind of, everyone thinks that the other side is going to become the next, you know, Grand Theft Auto or Fortnite or something along those lines. And if it does become that, and you know, those are new people, they're going to become coming into the Web3 world, and now are going to appreciate the Web3 world. So I actually think it is a cultural shift what's happening with this bear market, because back in the day, you could throw a profile picture and all of a sudden now you're saying, hey, we all became rich because we bought a profile picture and it's not worth, 100x or 10x or 50x or whatever the number is. And sometimes that happened in a day, 2 days, a week. Now we're really talking about how do we build something that's here for the long term. And look, a lot of people left the space, but I think the people that are here to stay. And I think if we become patient and be patient, there's going to be some rewards that are going to come out of it.
I agree with that. Let's talk about some of those rewards that may come out of it. In our Goat Vault giveaway, where is the Goat Vault sitting at today? The Goat Vault is sitting at $17,211. That is 10 ETH, 10.14 ETH. That is up for grabs. And what do you need to do to win the content of the Goat Vault? All you need to do is smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you are up to date with all the latest shows, and tell all your friends to subscribe to Goats and the Metaverse. Once we hit our 5,000 subscriber viewers and subscribers, we will be giving away the content of the vault. It's as easy as that, Stanley.
Easy as that. We hope everybody had enjoyed the show. Leave us a comment. Let us know. We want to hear from you. What's going on? What projects do you still believe in? We're reading through those comments. We're getting show ideas from the comments. So engage with us, our community, our people. We hope everybody has a great weekend. And we'll see you next week with a bunch of very surprised, interesting guests. You will not want to miss this. I promise you. Talk to you guys later.